Hey folks, Rachel Parker here with Resonance Content Marketing. And yes, this is another unplugged episode of the Content Marketing Podcast. No intro music, no outro music, just me and you having a conversation. I wanted to talk to you about some changes that are coming up. But before I do that, I want to give a shout out to my peeps over at the Oregon Real Estate Podcast. They have been faithful followers for a long time. They're always engaging. They're always sharing my tweets and leaving great comments. And recently I posted a rare selfie. If you know me, you know I'm not a selfie person, but my gym was giving out Houston Strong t-shirts. So to kind of celebrate the community spirit after the hurricane. And I posted this photo, and they left a very sweet comment asking for an update on the Texas recovery from the storm and on my family in particular. So to my peeps over there, thank you so much for your concern. And by the way, great job on your own podcast. I had an opportunity to listen in on an episode, and you've got some good stuff going on. So keep up the great work. So as for me and my immediate family, we are fine. We had no damage to our home, no damage to our cars. Mike's employer had no damage. He was able to go right back to work. So we really did come out unscathed. And we are well aware how fortunate we were, because I cannot say the same for my friends and neighbors. There was a lot of devastation. For example, a good friend of mine from the gym had 5 feet of water in her home, and thousands of others were in the same situation. So where we are now, I would say most of the homes that have flooded and needed to be gutted have been gutted. And it's actually really sad because you drive down a lot of these streets and you can barely see the houses from the piles and piles of debris that are out on the curb waiting to be picked up. It's really heartbreaking. And what's really heartbreaking is you see carpet and sheetrock and all that stuff, but you also see things like pianos and kids' toys and artwork and things that really meant something to people. So it's really sad to see. And I gotta say, this I know this issue has dropped out of the national headlines, but this recovery is going to take years. There are only so many contractors to go around, so many supplies to go around, but we'll get there. Houstonians are tough people, and we will pull together to get through this, and I will be right there alongside them. So, again, thank you for your concern. And if you want to help, there are, of course, many worthy organizations out there supporting the relief effort. Find one that you like. And then something that a colleague of mine mentioned a couple of days ago, a great way to help is to support Houston businesses. So if you are in the market for a graphic designer or an SEO expert or a web developer, and you're looking at different agencies or different freelancers, consider some of my peeps down here in Houston. We've got a great marketing community. We've got experts in just about every field you can imagine. So keep that in mind if you're looking for some support. And of course, if you need a recommendation, let me know and I will be happy to connect you. I know a lot of really good marketing folks down here who will definitely do a great job for you. So to my friends at the Oregon Real Estate Podcast, thank you again for your care and concern. It is much, much appreciated. So let me move on to what's going on with me and what's going on with this podcast. As you've already seen in the title for this episode, I am going to be taking a break for a few weeks, and I will tell you why. Just in the last couple of weeks, I have taken on a major commitment, a major work commitment that is taking up a huge amount of my time. And it's an ongoing thing. It's not like a project that will be done in 6 weeks and then I'll be back to my routine. I can't go into detail right now as to what this commitment is, but I can tell you it's ongoing, and it's really a good thing for me personally and professionally, but it is forcing me to reassess my own content practices, especially from a time management perspective. And all this really came to a head for me last night. Last night I had just wrapped up some client work, and I was about to start on my show notes for this week's episode, and my tank was empty. It was about 11:30 at night. I had been blowing and going all day long, and I just said, I can't do this. I can't do this to my audience. I'm not going to cobble together something that is below my standards just so that I can crank something out and get an episode out there. You guys are awesome, and I owe you better than that. So what I'm going to do is take a few weeks off from this podcast and reassess and figure out how I can best continue to serve you with the now limited time that I have available to me. So it might involve paring down. It might involve some adjustments in the duration of the podcast, or maybe the frequency of the podcast, or maybe the post-production side. I'm just not sure. But I do want to make the right decision, and I want to do right by you because, like I said, you guys are awesome and amazing, and I so enjoy our time together each week. So, long story short, too late, I know. I will be bowing out for a few weeks while I figure things out. Now, in the meantime, I will still be out there on social media. So if you want to keep our conversation going during this hiatus, I would love to hear from you. Best way to hit me up is on Twitter at Rach Parker. And then I'm also on Facebook and Instagram and lots of other places. But Twitter's really the best way to contact me. So all that being said, I will be back in a few weeks. And until then, I wish you tremendous content marketing success. Take care.